Shedeur Sanders walked into NFL training camp with more eyes on him than your average fifth-round pick. And let's be honest, it wasn't just because of his name. As the son of Hall of Famer Deion Sanders and coming off a prolific career at Jackson State in Colorado, Shedeur entered the Cleveland Browns camp with both high expectations and intense scrutiny. Now, a few weeks into training camp, we're starting to see the picture come together, and it's a mix of elite flashes, developmental moments, and yes, a bit of off-the-field noise. Let's break down what's really going on with Shedeur Sanders this offseason, from the playbook to the headlines. Shedeur Sanders, strong start in Browns camp. Despite being picked 144th overall in the 2025 NFL Draft, Shedeur has not looked like a late-round quarterback so far. Early reports from OTAs and minicamp have described him as one of the most accurate passers on the Browns roster. According to team insiders, Shedeur has been completing upwards of 75% of his passes during drills, particularly excelling in short to intermediate throws. He's been calm in the pocket, confident with his reads, and showing more command than most expected from a rookie. Word is that he threw 9 touchdowns to just 1 interception in a recent week of 7-on-7 work, and that's got more than just the fans buzzing. Let's not forget, this isn't a quarterback room where the starting job is locked in. With Deshaun Watson still dealing with injury recovery concerns and the Browns bringing in veterans like Joe Flacco and Kenny Pickett to compete, Shedeur actually finds himself in a very real battle for reps. And don't think the staff hasn't noticed. Browns OC Ken Dorsey reportedly praised Shedeur's maturity and work ethic, pointing out how quickly he's grasping the team's offensive terminology and how he's been asking the right questions. That's huge for a rookie quarterback. It's not just about arm strength or footwork, it's about learning how to run an NFL offense in real time, and Sanders seems to be ahead of schedule. Leadership traits on display. One thing that stands out is Shedeur's leadership. Despite being a rookie, he's been vocal with his receivers, constantly working on timing routes after practice and even organizing team film study sessions. A Browns beat reporter noted that Shedeur acts like a 5-year vet and that he doesn't flinch when given constructive criticism. He's also been seen frequently communicating with position coaches on the sideline and even pulling aside rookies for advice between reps. This is the type of presence you want in a quarterback. The NFL is fast, physical, and brutally unforgiving, especially for young quarterbacks who try to coast on talent alone. But Shedeur, he seems hungry to learn. But it hasn't been all smooth sailing. Of course, it wouldn't be an NFL offseason without a bit of controversy. Shedeur made headlines earlier this month for 2 separate speeding incidents in Colorado, both happening not long after he declared for the NFL Draft. In one case, he was reportedly clocked going over 100 miles per hour in a 60 miles per hour zone. The citations weren't something you could brush off, especially when NFL analysts like Colin Cowherd started weighing in. Cowherd said it reflects a lack of judgment that could cost Shedeur dearly if it continues. Let's be real. For a guy who already faced criticism for being a system QB under his dad at Colorado, the last thing Shedeur needed was to add fuel to the narrative that he's entitled or immature. But others have taken a more forgiving approach. Former coach Eric Mangini spoke on the issue, saying these are growing pains for young players stepping into independence and massive pressure. It's not unusual for guys in their early 20s to make mistakes. What matters more is how they respond. To his credit, Shedeur has paid his fines and moved on without drawing more negative attention. He hasn't posted any defensive statements, hasn't called out the media, and hasn't tried to play the victim. That's a mature approach and might reflect the steady hand of his father guiding him from afar. The quarterback battle. Can Shedeur actually start? Now let's talk about what everyone wants to know. Can Shedeur actually start for the Browns this season? It's early, but the buzz around camp suggests it's not impossible. Deshaun Watson's recovery remains uncertain, and while Kenny Pickett and Joe Flacco bring experience, neither has looked dominant in practice reps. Shedeur, meanwhile, continues to make a case with his decision-making and accuracy. Wide receiver Deontay Johnson made waves when he told reporters that Shedeur might be the most consistent guy out there, and that he has that dog in him. High praise from a veteran who's caught passes from Big Ben and Pickett. If the Browns coaching staff wants to build for the future and inject energy into their offense, they might not be able to ignore Shedeur much longer. So, with that being said, how do you think Sanders will do in his rookie year? Comment down below and make sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you enjoyed.